In this video, we will talk about Battle of Badr, also known as Ghazva-e-Badr. In the early days of Islam, when the march of torchbusters blinding quietly through the desert of Arabia, the believers in Medina faced a great test, a test that would decide their future. It was the year 624 CE, the 17th of Ramadan. The Prophet Muhammad and his small group of faithful followers prepared for what would become one of the most defining moments in Islamic history, the Battle of Badr. The Muslims were not a mighty army. They were about 13 men, ordinary people, farmers, tradesmen, and shepherds. They had only a few swords, a handful of camels, and 2 horses. The enemy, the Quraysh of Makkah, were over 1,000 strong, heavily armed, and well prepared. The odds were impossible, but the Muslims carried something far greater than number or weapons. They carried faith. The battle began with the Prophet received word that a Makkah trade caravan led by Abu Sufyan was returning from Syria. To stop it, the Prophet and his companions marched out. But the Quraysh army led by Abu Jahl set out to protect their wealth and crush the Muslims once and for all. The 2 forces met near a small well in the valley of Badr. Before the battle, the Prophet stood facing the direction of Makkah and raised his hands in deep prayer, saying, "O Allah, if this small group destroy today, there will be no left to worship you on this spot." It was a moment of pure faith, the prayer of man who trusted his Lord completely. As the sun rose over the sands of Badr, the battle began. The first clash came in the form of duel. 3 of the strongest warriors of Quraysh stepped forward, Utbah, Sheba, and Walid bin Utbah. From the Muslim sides came Hamza ibn Abdul Muttalib, Ali ibn Abi Talib, and Ubaidah ibn al-Harith. The duels were fierce, and in moments the Muslim horse emerged victorious. It was the spark that ignited the courage of the believers. Then the armies clashed. Swords flashed, dust filled the air, and cries of Allahu Akbar echoed across the valley. Despite being outnumbered 3-1, the Muslims fought with unity, discipline, and unwavering faith. The Quran later described that moment, saying, "It was not you who threw, but Allah who threw." Angels descended to strengthen the believers, and by the end of the battle, the Quraysh were defeated. 70 of their men were killed, including Abu Jahl, their first enemy, and 70 were captured. Only 14 Muslims attained martyrdom. The battle and victory of Badr was not just a win. It is the faith, unity, and tolerance of Muslims and a lesson to the Muslim world that quantity does not matter, quality and faithfulness matters.